Good morning, everyone. I'm Timothy. This is Carpe Diem, and we're gonna watch some Ultra League battles in Pokemon Go, so let's get to it. First fight is against Ragmesis, and it's gonna be Swampert versus Shadow Swampert. Shadow Swampert has 20% increase in attack, but he loses in defense. So, last time I went Swampert versus Swampert, I said I probably should have tried double baiting. And I actually do try that this time. Swampert normally has Hydro Cannon and Earthquake, and people just don't expect the Muddy Water. So baiting works more than it doesn't. The unfortunate thing is that it costs me both my shields. However, if I beat the lead, then I end up with switch advantage going into the second fight. Everyone will be without their shields, but if you don't have shields in the battle anymore, then it's best to have switch advantage. So here comes the Earthquake. And I only get a grade on it, but it knocks him all the way down. So he switches out to Giratina, and of course I'm going to go straight into Gengar. He has Ancient Power, which is going to be trouble for my Articuno. I don't think Gengar is going to be able to defeat him, but oh, he does. Well then, looks like Gengar can beat Giratina without shields. I was not aware of that. So he switches to Melmetal, and he leaves the game. Miyamayam. That's an interesting name. He throws out Golem for a lead. I'm going to have the advantage right off the bat. I half expected him to switch. I don't shield here. Golem, I know he's Electric Rock, and none of that is going to be effective against Swampert. My Muddy Waters should be enough to take him. He's gonna shield. I do a second Muddy Water right away. He shields again. So now he's got no shields, and I'm hanging on to both of mine. That is a huge advantage for me, and I'm still probably going to win this fight. So 2 shields and switch advantage going into the second round. I'm in an amazing lead here. Mamoswine comes up next. And I just can't get the next charge move off. I go ahead and throw out the Gengar. Gonna try Ghost against him. I don't think that's effective against ground or ice, but that still did quite a bit of damage. I'm gonna shield to protect my Glass Cannon. And it's a good thing I did. Avalanche is a hard-hitting move. So he had 2 avalanches stored up. Gonna have to use both my shields. And he switches to Scizor. Gengar is actually really good against Scizor. I know Scizor tends to give a lot of people trouble. He's got a lot of resistances and he's really tanky. Unfortunately, Gengar is weak to Night Slash, and having no more shield, he goes down. Articuno is, however, able to finish him off with the Icy Wind. Even though it's not very effective. And then it's Mamoswine versus Articuno. And Mamoswine just doesn't have enough health. That's a win. Getting all kinds of Discord notifications. I really need to turn that off when I play. Ken661106 will be my next opponent. Togekiss. Alright, so it takes me a little bit of time to realize that Swampert is not going to win against Togekiss, but I do eventually switch to my Articuno. I do have to use my shields though. I know that Togekiss has things like Ancient Power and also Flamethrower. Either one of those would be devastating to Articuno. He lets my Icy Wind hit him. Probably not a good move on his part. Alright, Clefable comes out and he's going to get hit with an Icy Wind right away. He shields. I managed to squeak in one more Icy Wind just before my Articuno goes down. And he shields again. Which means all I have to do is get to my poison attack. And I'm going to shield Gengar because he's got a lot of energy stored up and he's going to use Meteor Mash. If I can get to my poison attack, I will definitely win this battle. And he does not have a chance to get to another charge move. Poison is super effective against Fairy. And he went with double Fairy, so I just gotta rush to Sludge Bomb again, and that will win me the game. Attribution. Some of these names are hard to pronounce. Alright, he sends out Polywrath. Now, Polywrath, I didn't quite know how to handle him, so I decided to treat him like a Swampert. And I went with the double bait strategy here. He uses Dynamic Punch. That does a lot of damage, and I did not shield against that. He uses a shield against my Muddy Water. Oh, I made a mistake by not fully charging. But he uses a shield anyway. After seeing what that Dynamic Punch did last time, I'm definitely going to use a shield this time. Here comes the Earthquake. That does a huge hit to him. I go ahead and let him take out my Swampert. He doesn't have much health left anyway, so I switch out to the Gengar, quickly take him down. And he brings out Sizor. Again, Gengar is really good against Sizor. Probably not the best switch in his position. I'm still hanging on to a shield too, which I am going to use right here because I know Sizor has a Night Slash. He uses Excisor instead. Don't know if he was trying to bait me there, but he did not manage to get to his Night Slash before being taken down. Finally, Swampert to finish it up. Alright, so he finishes off Gengar, and here comes Articuno. He uses Earthquake, which is not very effective against flying types. And my Icy Wind finishes him off for the win. My next opponent is going to be, let's just call that Alchemist. Wearing a very funny hat. And he pulls Suicune out right off the bat. I really need to figure out how to handle Suicune. So I got on PV Poke and tried to do some simulations. And it turns out switching straight to Gengar right off the bat would be the best thing to do. Gengar can defeat Suicune if he has both shields. You can beat Suicune with a Swampert, but you have to have at least one successful bait. And as you saw here, Suicune doesn't always take the bait because he is resistant to water type attacks. Got an Earthquake in. It didn't do too much damage. It still did a bit of damage, but not as much as you would expect from a fight against like Swampert or the Polywrath earlier. So I try to squeak in another Muddy Water before he goes down. He uses Ice Beam to finish him off. Alright, so Gengar's up, and I shield him right away against that Bubble Beam, and manage to take down the Suicune. He throws out Zangoose, and I'm in a lot of trouble. I have no shields. He's got 2 shields. He finishes off Gengar with a Night Slash. And Articuno comes out. I know I'm going to lose at this point. I I do, however, want to see what his last Pokemon would have been. So he throws out Cresselia, and I concede at that point. So I have tried to figure out what the best strategy against that team would have been. It turns out if I switch straight to Gengar, I can beat Suicune without any successful baits. The problem is I have nothing that's going to be good against Zangoose and Cresselia with no shields. So I don't think that's a team I can actually beat. And that happens sometimes in Pokemon Go. You're always going to run into a team occasionally that your team just does terrible against. And I think that is one of those cases. There was simply no way for me to beat that match. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.